I'm not a lawyer, but child, Sean Kingston and his mom got indicted for wire fraud today, and I read through the federal indictment, so let me tell you what's being alleged. It's all regarding what the feds are saying was a $1 million wire fraud scheme in which Sean Kingston, whose real name is Kisean Paul Anderson, and his mother, Janice Eleanor Turner, are facing 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 5 counts of actual wire fraud. And just so we're clear, wire fraud is when you knowingly and intentionally defraud or come up with a plan to defraud or like trick someone into giving you money or property. And you do so under false pretenses or false promises that involve wire communication. And by wire communication, anything that's transmitted. Think telephone, text message, internet, that all can get you caught up. So the feds say that Sean Kingston and his mother Janice unjustly enriched themselves by falsely representing that they had executed bank wire or other monetary payment transfers as payment for vehicles, jewelry, and other goods, when in fact they actually never sent any money or transfers to anyone that they purchased from, and even still they attempted to keep all the things that they essentially never paid for. Under count 1, which is the conspiracy to commit wire fraud, it goes into a bit more detail, saying that beginning on or about April 11, 2023, and continuing on until about March 29, 2024, Sean Kingston would reach out to vendors using direct messaging on Instagram and other social media platforms to buy vehicles, jewelry, and other goods and services. Once those vendors and Sean Kingston would agree upon the terms of the purchase, he and his mom would move the conversation to text message to confirm the timing of the delivery, the installation, payment, all that kind of stuff. At that point, the docs say that Sean Kingston would use his celebrity status to persuade the vendors to stray away from their regular business practice and instead convince them to deliver these goods or services before he actually paid them. From there, Kingston and his mom would send fake receipts via text messages, making it look like they had transferred or initiated a transfer when in actuality, they never did. At that point, the indictment says that Kingston and his mom would either discontinue communication with the vendors or claim that additional payments were on the way, and again, never actually sending anything. Moving on to counts 2 through 6, which are for wire fraud. So there's a chart that really details 5 instances in which the feds say Sean Kingston and his mom committed this actual wire fraud. The first is on May 15, 2023, in which they say a text message is sent with a fake bank wire transfer receipt claiming that they transferred $53,000 over to whoever this vendor was for the purchase of a vehicle. 5 months later, October 24th, 2003, a text message is sent including a fake wire transfer receipt in the amount of $285,000 for the purchase of a watch. November 21st, 2023, a text is sent including a fake wire transfer receipt for over $159,000 for the purchase of another vehicle. January 15th, 2024, a text is sent containing a fake wire transfer receipt in the amount of $40,000 for the purchase of some AV electronic equipment. And then the final text is sent on March 14th, 2024, with a fake wire transfer receipt in the amount of $480,000 for the purchase of 2 watches. And in all these instances, the documents say the text messages were transmitted from Florida through computer servers located in either Georgia, Texas, or Missouri. Wire communication, wire fraud. If convicted, Sean Kingston and his mom each face up to 20 years in prison on each count. From what I understand, these aren't the only criminal charges that these two are facing, so word to the wise, don't f with the feds.